back to the Nerdy Gritty, where we delve deep into the details of pop culture. I am Dez.
I'm Fox.
And we are doing a podcast.
This is a podcast.
We are casting the pods.
That's what that means.
So Fox,
yeah?
How are you, sir?
I'm good.
Yeah?
I'm good. I spent a lot of time playing Prey today, which I'm enjoying.
Yeah.
If you guys don't know, it's a basically think BioShock, but
Without bio or shocks.
Yeah, bigger. It's actually kind of one-for-one BioShock, really.
I was going to say, saying bigger than BioShock is...
Like a larger impressive. Space, bigger game.
That's still impressive.
Yeah.
BioShock was not a small game.
No. This is more of an open world kind of thing. Not an open world, but more freedom and stuff. Metroidvania type, like you can get this item and go all the way back to the start. And now you can open up that part and...
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's really fun.
I like that.
Yeah.
How
are you?
I'm doing well. I just finished Arkham Knight, and I'm going to be starting probably both Sundered and Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
I have a very important question about Prey, though. Have you used any racial slurs while playing Prey?
All of them. Constantly.
I have a list.
Well, not Prey. I've been playing Neo also, and that's the one. But here's the thing.
It pretty much sounds like an American army camp in 1943.
Here's the thing, though. I'm not recording that and putting it on YouTube for 57 million people to hear.
You're not actually using racial slurs.
No, I'm not.
No, you are not.
That's not a thing I do.
And 57 million people would not hear us, even if we dared to.
Whoa. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. We are, of course, today we're going to be talking about PewDiePie and his recent issues?
Indiscretions.
Indiscretion. Yes. And
by that we mean racist terms.
Yes, straight up racist terms.
Yes.
And then the developers of Firewatch, their response
Campo Santos is the company.
Yeah.
And their response. Thought it was very interesting.
Yeah, real interesting. So, what happened, if you guys don't know, is PewDiePie was playing PUBG, right?
He was playing PUBG, PlayerUnknown's Battleground.
And he was playing, and something happened, and in a fit of rage or surprise or whatever...
Exactly, yes. Rage, I think.
He used...
As is his want, he has outbursts of profanity.
Right. Which he's
That's what he does, and that's why he has 57 million people following.
And again, he's far from the only YouTuber with outbursts of profanity.
That's true.
But this typical outburst included the N-word.
The N-word, yes.
Which is one that we will not repeat on this podcast or probably anywhere else.
Probably. There might be a time when I'm playing PUBG.
No. Stop it.
I'm going to do that this whole episode.
Depends on how mad I get during PUBG.
Right.
So,
or if I have 57 million people watching.
He let out a bad word, a mean thing.
Right.
He said
a racial slur.
Yeah. And so a different game, not PUBG.
Yeah. That he has played before. Correct. And has videos of him playing called Firewatch, which is a fun game. So just short aside, quick 5-second review. It's good, but not amazing. It's more of just an on-rails story kind of walking simulator. Anyway, Firewatch, Campo Santos basically issued a DMCA, which, Des, is a...
Digital Media Copyrights Act.
Okay. Basically, they said... Because you did this, we don't want the videos you have of our IP, our product, on YouTube.
So here's what it is with digital media. It's significantly more difficult to say that you have used that inappropriately or not like we intended it.
Right.
Because with a physical copy, if somebody takes your art and murders somebody with it, or takes your art and, spray paints racial slurs on it or whatever else, it's very easy to say, look, that art is a distinct part of that, and you can step up and say, I do not want that. But with digital media, it's kind of like I mean, PewDiePie didn't make the media say that. There wasn't a mod in which Firewatch is now using racial slurs. Like, he said it while playing the game, and it's kind of like... So what the DMCA does is it's a purposely vague thing which allows owners of digital media to step up and say, that is an inappropriate use or not what we intended, and I have a copyright on that, and therefore I can choose to make...
From what I read... It literally says that they do not need a reason.
Right.
There is no need for them. You can sue... You can... I think they have 10 days. That might be a YouTube policy.
You can appeal for what's called fair use.
There you go. Right. If you're using it for educational purposes or a few other things, like reviews are okay with that, like sometimes. But they don't actually need to explain why they are taking it down or why they're issuing a retraction or whatever you want to call it.
So, Campo Santos issued a DMCA repeal of all...
Basically to YouTube.
To YouTube?
Yes, to YouTube. As far as I know. This is what I read a few hours... It was an article written like 12 hours ago.
Okay.
To YouTube. YouTube is accepted. Now, also his...
Oh, to YouTube... So to PewDiePie via YouTube, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it's to YouTube because that's where the material is.
I see what you're saying.
It's not to PewDiePie because he doesn't actually he doesn't have the videos in which he's doing this are on YouTube.
And YouTube are the ones responsible for it.
Yeah, hosting the material on their website.
Yeah.
So they said we don't want this, and they accepted because I guess they don't really have any recourse or reason not to.
Right.
This is their material. It's within their right. What it also did is put a strike against PewDiePie's channel. You get basically a 3-strike rule where if you are copyright striked, which there's a difference between getting a copyright strike and getting like a, hey, this is copyrighted material kind of thing. You're not allowed to make money off it. There's a big difference.
I mean, to give the difference, Fox and I get the latter ones. Hey, just so you know, you can't monetize this. We get those all the time.
Yeah, for certain games.
Yeah.
Not all the games.
It's nothing bad by any means. It's just letting you know, hey, just so you know, this thing's copyrighted, so you can't monetize it.
We don't want you to make money off it.
Yeah, but other than that, you're 100% fine to use it as much as you want.
Right.
Then there's copyrights like...
A strike is what it's called. It's a strike against his account.
3 strikes and your account is deleted.
Your account is deleted. This would be his 57 million subscriber account. As far as I know, this is only his first. I read a little bit of his Wikipedia and a few other things, and I never read anything about him having others. So it's closer to being deleted, but that's not really a risk. So
I mean, at 2 strikes, like as a baseball fan, I know that 1 strike is a big deal. It really is.
Like, sure. It's not like, oh, whatever, I don't care. But I guess it's only been 4 years that he's been doing this. Well, no, it's been 7 years since he started.
Has it been that long?
7 years since this is his first.
But, and this is actually what kind of some things we'll get into later. In fact, so before I even talk about that, let's get into what we're talking about.
Yeah, what's it called? A disclaimer.
Disclaimer.
Neither of us
condone
what he said. Obviously, we're not. It really sucks to have to say this, but neither of us are pro using the N-word.
Right. Yeah, Fox and I have different standpoints on this issue in the DMCA, but neither of us are coming from the standpoint that he is fine to use that word.
Right.
We are both saying, PewDiePie, you're a badman.
You done goofed, PewDiePie.
Yep, and you should not say those things.
Right.
Or any of the other racist things that you have said in the past.
Right. And yeah, let's get into that a little. PewDiePie... Okay, I'll get into this while getting into my stance.
All right, go ahead. So here's the bottom line. At the end of the day, Fox says that Firewatch and Campo Santos did the right thing, that they stepped up with the DMCA, and that this is a good thing. Fox is pro DMCA.
Okay, you're pretty much right, but I'm also gonna kind of...
All right, yeah, twist that.
So...
Go ahead.
I believe that Campo Santos is legally, of course, within their right. That's not something you can argue. It's true. Maybe they didn't do the right thing, but they didn't do the wrong thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think they did something that's more right than nothing.
Yes.
I 100% agree that they should have issued this, and I'm surprised that nobody else has, as far as I know, because he's done a lot of games.
Yeah.
Because as a creator of art, I mean, I myself am not much of an artist per se, as in like original content. I take other people's art and play them, and then anyway,
and talk over it.
Talk over them. That's my art. I feel as though you would want to protect your art as much as possible. And I'm not saying that he like put their art in a worse place. He didn't like denigrate. What's the word I'm looking for?
I don't know.
I don't know. Somewhere he didn't like
degrade.
Sure, whatever. He didn't make the game Firewatch worse.
Yeah,
that game is still there. It's like saying like a remake of a movie ruins the original.
Yeah,
that makes no sense.
Yeah,
No, it just reveals how good the original is.
Right,
and that's what I'm saying here is like not exactly the same, but he didn't ruin theirs. But it's still something they put their flesh and their sweat and blood into creating.
Their flesh and blood.
Maybe some flesh in there as well. I don't know. I wasn't there, and I'm not much of a developer.
Hand of the servant, free, willfully given.
Oh man.
Blood of the enemy. PewDiePie. They're like, what are you doing?
They're in crunch mode when that game is being made. Got 6 weeks till they need to go gold, but they're still way behind, so they're resorting to black magic in the depths of their development studio. Alright, anyway.
I have Newt and 16 gigs of RAM.
Oh, man. Anyway, so I would say, like, I'm coming from the standpoint that the creator of a piece of art should have the ability to say, you're not treating what I created in the way that I want to see it treated,
right?
And so I don't want your face or your personality associated with anyway.
So, and we'll just get right into this then. Here's what I think. I think that Fox is right, and they have every right to do this. They have no reason to say no. It's well within the rules. I do not think it was the right choice on their part because, and kind of what you're saying here, that they're saying we don't want you to use this my art in this way. This sets precedent. This is saying something that if you misuse our art in some way, we will take it away from you, and that suddenly makes YouTube gaming or public gaming, Twitch gaming, whatever, a little bit scarier. Like, I know that you and I are never, ever, ever going to use a racial slur, but how many YouTubers
I'll go delete those videos real quick.
How many YouTubers out there are people who say stupid things? I mean, how many 12-year-olds have, not 57 million, but 12-year-olds with, 10,000 subscribers? Maybe even 2,000 subscribers, and they say stupid stuff all the time, constantly saying stupid stuff, and they shouldn't, and it's not okay. But when you step up as a major organization with a popular game, I mean, Campo Santos isn't a major, they're not Nintendo or Sony or whatever, but you get what I'm saying, a larger organization to step up and say...
They're owned by Sony, I think. They're owned by somebody.
But that somebody is not the one doing this.
Yes, they are a smaller developer.
But when they step up and they say, just so you know, if you mistreat this, we can take it from you. That becomes a scary thing for YouTubers. And all of a sudden, it adds an element of fear. I mean, even the main Campo Santos guy, I can't remember his name, he even said, I wish there was another way we could have done this.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, like
I think I saw his original tweet just basically saying PewDiePie is bad.
Right.
And we don't
and we don't want that to happen.
Yeah, I don't know if I don't remember it word for word though.
Yeah, but later on, because a lot of people kind of said what I'm saying right now.
Sure.
This isn't the right choice, man. And he's like, look, I don't think this is a good thing, but it's what we have to do. I don't like that we're doing this, but we are doing this.
That's interesting.
Yeah. And because I think it's because you are adding an element of fear. You were saying you must experience my art in a certain way. You are only allowed to experience my art in a way that I approve of. And if I disapprove of it, I will take it away from you. or maybe not take it away, but I will make sure that you are not allowed to publicize it in any way. Which is well within their rights. Absolutely well within their rights. But is that the right thing to do for a piece of art? I say no.
Well, what we have to contextualize it. People watching PewDiePie's Firewatch videos they're not going to experience it in a racially insensitive way. He didn't say this during that.
Right.
They're like that's kind of what gets mixed up or gets lost in this. He didn't say anything wrong during Firewatch. What they're wanting to do is disassociate themselves from this guy. Right.
And see, that's not exactly, but that's a large part of my point, is if he had said that during Firewatch, and they said, we want at no point for anybody to be able to hear that word while looking at our game, I would understand that. I would be like, all right, that sucks that you have to do that, but I get that. But the fact that, for all intents and purposes, he played Firewatch just fine. Like, if PlayerUnknown had stepped up and said, we are filing this thing against PewDiePie because we don't want him saying that stuff while playing our game, again, I'd be like, that sucks, but I understand. But the fact that this is a third party in this situation...
Sure.
That has stepped up...
It is not directly related to the issue at hand.
Not at all related to the issue at hand, has said, I dislike your attitude as a person, or your opinions as a person, or the way that you react to things as a person. Therefore, I am going to limit your interaction with my art. That's a scary thing.
I get that, but here's the thing. I'm going to be exaggerative to make a point.
Right.
And it's going to be hypothetical. You write a book.
Yep.
It's a good book. People like it.
And then the Nazis burn it.
No. Then David Duke, the head of or I don't know if he's the head, but very high in command.
The leader of the Duke boys.
Yes. I don't know if you've seen Dukes of Hazzard. No. He's the head of the KKK.
Yeah.
The current leader or higher up in the ranks.
The Grand Wizard or whatever it is.
I love... Okay, I need to say this correctly. I don't love the KKK.
I love the KKK.
But the fact that they're called the Grand Wizard...
It's the worst person to take adventuring.
I don't want him in my party.
All right, he's got wizard robes. He's not just a wizard. He's a grand wizard. He's got this flaming stick. Like this guy's ready to go with us. All right, let's go take care of these dirty goblins. Whoa, dude. Whoa.
You're like playing D&D in like a deep south setting. Guys, I found a wizard to join our
Southern
party.
Earth. It's the Middle Earth.
Guys, he can help us. I think he knows lots of cool spells. There was a miss. I don't know any spells.
Yeah, no.
I am the wrong wizard for this party. Anyway.
Do you want to update Word? What? And that's the last time we took an installation wizard with us on the adventure.
Oh, Awful Fantasy. If you guys haven't read Awful Fantasy, go look it up. It's a Twitter account. It's hilarious. Anyway, so David Duke then writes a review of your book.
Right.
And puts it on YouTube or something. The media and YouTube, and as they have, whether or not it's true, they're now going to associate that person with your media, with your product.
Right.
In some small way. It's not fair. It's exaggerative. I understand that. I'm not making a one-for-one comparison here. But it makes sense to me that Campo Santos, it's not hurting them to take away the videos from them. Mm-hmm. I mean,
that's true.
Their options were to remain silent or just say, hey, we don't approve of this. Or, hey, let's not have this guy be a part of it. Because this is something else that needs to be brought up. This is not the first time that that PewDiePie has been accused, and by accused...
accused, they literally...
He's been accused of... There is video evidence of him making racially charged, insensitive comments and doing things.
Again, we agree, PewDiePie is a dumb.
Yeah, no, right.
And
right.
I will say straight up, you are not Firewatch or you don't have a DMCA, but if you know of him, I suggest you unsubscribe to him.
Yeah.
Like, I suggest you pull your support of a racist man. I'm just going to toss that out there.
There it is. The zero tolerance policy. Personally, I have recently decided to make racism something that I'll die on a hill for. Like, in just stupid Facebook quotes or pictures that are shared or even like slightly like the whole statue thing.
Yeah.
About statues of Confederate...
Robert E. Lee.
Yeah,
Stonewall
Somebody
Jackson.
tries to say like, oh, it's history or whatever, and I will argue about that. That's fine with me. There are things I won't, but I will argue about that.
Yes, it's history. Put it in a museum
yes.
where people can look and see, look how we praised these people that tried to promote slavery.
Right.
That's a weird historical fact.
Exactly. And so I have a tolerance or a zero tolerance policy of racist viewpoints being given airtime and being rewarded, essentially, because that guy makes all the money. PewDiePie makes all the money in the world. So much money.
Again, pull your support of him.
And here's the thing. YouTube's not like in want. Like if PewDiePie goes away, you're only down to 50,000 videos of every game he's ever watched. Right. It's not like he's providing some content that is like exclusive. Scarce. He's not the only one playing PUBG. Like, I'm sure there are funnier people playing. I'm sure the like
Awful Squad,
the Polygon PUBG videos are hilarious.
They're wonderful,
and there's zero racism involved.
None. In fact, they never even encroach on that.
Right.
They say a lot of funny things.
How?
But, that's weird.
They might have gotten angry at people.
Oh,
they might have had bad situations happen to them,
and they break out into foul language and
all the time.
Anger and frustration. But
not once.
They magically managed to never use racial epithets.
And there's the thing. He said in his defense that he said it in the heat of the moment, wasn't thinking about it. Like, this is one of the worst things he can think of to say, and that's why he said it, because he was angry, and that makes it worse to me.
Yeah, I agree.
Because it is unconscious racism. Like, it is just what naturally came out when he was angry.
I wholeheartedly agree with that. The fact that he didn't have to think about that, it's just what came out, that means that word is on the tip of his tongue in his subconscious.
Right.
If he had chosen to say that and thought about it, it's like, what can I call this guy? Ooh, this. I'd be like, you are an idiot. You actively chose to say that. You're so dumb. But you had to think about it at least. The fact that this was unconscious, no, that's worse.
And so because of this, if this were a legal case, my case would rest upon character testimony. Because of all of this, my small development company, Campo Santos, is not big, and they probably want to continue making games. And if this could, if they want to be a company that disassociates themselves from racist YouTube personalities, and not like the largest YouTube personality,
right?
That's fair. That's completely fair, and I 100% understand. And actually, they should do that.
And so, I agree with what you're saying, but I don't think what they're doing is what you're saying.
Okay.
So if they had a relationship with PewDiePie in which they talked with him and they had, interviews together and things like that, and then this happened and they said, we are ending that relationship that we have with PewDiePie, 2 thumbs up. But again, they're in a third-party situation here. So to kind of go back to something you said, like if David Duke reviewed your book positively and then the media got a hold of that, this is a flaw that I think our country has. It's the type of thing where, like, if somebody is really amazing and he helps a lot of people, but then it comes out that person is a child molester, and all of a sudden, do we discredit the help that he gave? We discredit him, for sure. He is a bad person. He should go to jail. But the help that was given, is his advice now poor? So the example I immediately go to is, if Hitler told you to save for your retirement and be wise with your finances, would you do the opposite just because it was Hitler?
I'd be confused. 2017. What's going on? I have been lied to by so many people.
Frau Fox, I have advice for you. I'm terrible at a German accent.
Why are you in my bedroom?
But
PewDiePie had to be friends with you?
Yeah, just go to that guy. But, like, if David Duke told you that to invest in your 401k, would you not do it because it was David Duke? No, because that has nothing to do with his political opinions. What happened with Firewatch with PUBG and PewDiePie had nothing to do with Firewatch. There are a million other games that PewDiePie has played on his channel, and Campos Santos is the only one that is taking this action. Mm-hmm. Because I don't know why. Like, I don't know why that this is what they decided to do. I could see them stepping up and saying, although he plays our games, we want you to know that we do not approve of anything that he said. This was foolish and it was ridiculous. And we hope that people, including PewDiePie, make a much wiser approach with their words when they play games, especially ours. Or if you play through Firewatch, you will see that at no point does it even come close to supporting the things that PewDiePie has said. Firewatch has nothing to do with his words or with his actions. Firewatch is an entirely separate thing. But to say, PewDiePie, you're not allowed to use our game because of those things you said in a third party.
Oh, they're not saying you can't use their game?
No, well, you can't
he
post
can play it all
game.
he wants.
Yeah, he can
just
play it all he
can't
wants.
post a video.
You're not allowed to post our game because of those things you said somewhere else. I don't think that's the right approach. I think that's abusing the DMCA is not the right word. I think it's being heavy-handed with the DMCA.
What if, here's my rebuttal,
Mm-hmm.
what if they view their relationship with them as he used their art? There is a relationship between them because the art they created was used by them. This is something that they spent years creating, likely, and did a very good job doing, and are probably very proud of the art they created. Absolutely. And so they probably see it as part of themselves that they created, and now their relationship with him, although, they don't know him personally or haven't talked to him, he has accepted their art, and they both have investments in this. What I think it is more like saying is, okay, Campos Santos, they wrote a book, David Duke read it, and wrote it, wrote a review, and it's akin to having David Duke have a little blurb on the back of your book as a review, and then saying, oh, actually, and then David Duke coming out, you're finding out he's this racist, and then saying, okay, in all future books, or all future publications, copies of this book, he is no longer going to be on there. Like, obviously he can still say that, but they're disassociating themselves because they view the art as more important than that person's opinion of it.
This is not a rebuttal. This is an honest question. Do you think that all video game companies, developers, should be putting a DMCA against PewDiePie right now?
I would...
Unless he's playing, like, Madden, they're all art.
I would... Well, Madden's still technically art. But I would understand.
That's not what I asked you. Do you think they should do that?
Probably.
Yeah?
Yeah. Like, PUBG definitely should.
Yeah.
Like,
no, I agree with.
He was a racist guy, purely, like, put your support, like, developers support, like, YouTubers now. It's a two-way relationship nowadays. Put your support behind somebody else. Somebody who doesn't unconsciously say racist things.
I would be all for PlayerUnknown stepping up and saying, Mr. DePie.
That is his name.
Mr. DePie.
PewDiePie is his name. I've only heard it said, not read it.
Mr. PewDiePie, if our game is something that is causing you to use racial epithets, we would like to encourage you to not use those things, and so we would like to encourage you to not play our game. Therefore, we are filing a DMCA repeal against you, so that you do not have rights to use our game, so that you will not use these racial epithets anymore. And I could see PlayerUnknown doing that, and that would be fine. I think that would be just fine because he did it because PlayerUnknown was involved in the situation. But for a third party to come back and be like, well, what he did over there is not something that I approve of. So here's the truth. If PewDiePie did not have 57 million followers, do you think that Campos Santos would be doing this?
Oh, I 100% believe it's also a PR move.
Right.
They also, I don't know if you've seen, recently put their game on a Steam sale. like this week, or some kind of sale
Convenient.
somewhere. Right? No, I think it's a good marketing move. Also,
yeah.
Like, hey, we don't approve of racists. Also, it's cheaper now. Buy our game. I think that's smart. I don't hold any grudge against them. I think that's just a good marketing move. They're probably trying to fund their next game.
I think it's smart for them to put their game up on a Humble Bundle right now. I don't approve of using morality as a PR tactic.
Okay, that's fine. Let's look to the future, though.
Okay.
Say the next game PewDiePie plays, because it's the first one that comes to mind, is Shadow of War.
Yep.
Should Warner Brothers, or whatever dev company, I forget, makes Warner Brothers
Rocksteady.
the publisher.
No, Rocksteady is Batman.
Yeah. Warner Brothers is the publisher.
Right.
Well, let's say developer of, or publisher of Shadow of War. PewDiePie starts making videos of Shadow of War. What should they do? He's not a racist now, just because it's a different game.
If you say that people that use racial slurs can't play your video game on YouTube, you will literally lose half of your videos on YouTube. Like, so many, and it's a bad thing. It's a bad thing that people use these things, but PewDiePie is not the only one. If you're going to set this precedence that people who use racial slurs cannot play your video game, you better back that up, son. You better step up and...
100%.
You should not say, people who use racial slurs play my video game and have 53 million subscribers. That's not how you should be doing this. And, I mean, especially with, shooter games like PUBG or COD or Battlefields or, Overwatch.
Shoot the cool guns.
Yeah, shoot the cool guns games. All of these games, they breed trolls.
Oh, well, sure, and they also just have an innate racism to them because we have to kill the Arabs because they're Arab.
Well, I mean, but PUBG doesn't.
Sure, that's true.
There's no racial... Overwatch doesn't.
Well, I don't know if it's the games in that sense. I think it's more of the anonymity of the internet. My words, I won't be held accountable for what I'm saying, so I can say whatever I want. Well, now PewDiePie is being held accountable for what he said. So I think it's fair. I think... it sounds extreme, but I believe that an art company, an artist, a group of artists, a development company should probably draw that line. Like, hey, people play our games, not just PewDiePie. Let's boost up the people who don't say racist things. Let's give them our support and take away our support from people who do say racist things.
I think that is the right thing to do.
Yes.
Support. I don't think that letting that person play your video game is support. If you said, in the past, we have given PewDiePie free codes to our games, so he'd play our game, like, you and I, we get free codes. We play games for free. That's great. Companies support us, so we can support them. We love that relationship.
Right.
If companies go to PewDiePie and they say, we don't want to do that with him anymore, yes, 2 thumbs up. And then if Campo Santos afterwards said, we have seen what PewDiePie has done, we are not going to give him free codes anymore, here are some organizations that we have vetted, watched their channel, whatever, and we really support their channel, and we are giving them codes in the future. That would be amazing. If you positively encourage those who are not doing that, rather than making your art a threat.
But also in the mix, PewDiePie was continuing to make money off of their videos. They were supporting him.
That's a great point. That is a great point.
He was being supported monetarily by their videos.
I don't know if this is true, but I know for a fact that game companies can choose to allow their game to be monetized or not. I don't know if they can go individually. If they can say, I don't want PewDiePie to be able to
not
monetize
this specific.
my game.
I would doubt that.
Yeah, I don't think it can be that
specific.
That
would be, real. I would have a problem with that. Like,
yeah,
just generally, like, yeah. Anyway,
that I think that's the best point you've had so far. Is he is making money?
He is making
like
they are not saying we approve of this guy, but he is being supported by them.
Yeah,
it's not a direct. It's
indirect.
Yes, it's a passive support.
But
he is continuing to be able to do what he does, based in, I'm sure, a very small part on Campo Santos and Firewatch.
Well, Fox, we are running out of time here, sir. So, give me a final thoughts. Go.
I'm surprised it's only Campo Santos that has done it.
Yeah.
But I
agreed.
Completely understand that a company would not want a racist to be making money off of and influencing 57 million probably largely younger skewing people in some part with the piece of art that they created.
Yeah. And I think that you've made some very, very good points here. But what I will say is I wholeheartedly agree, actually, that the fact that he's making money off of them is something that they needed to address in some way. I still say that the DMCA is not the right way to go with it. I think that they should have publicly, and all companies, everybody should have publicly said, we realize this guy is a huge figurehead in gaming.
Yeah.
If Miyamoto had used racial slurs, more than just Nintendo should step up and say, this is not a good thing.
Right.
Like, all game companies should step up because he is a figurehead of gaming. PewDiePie, he's a figurehead in gaming right now. Sure. And I think a lot more than just Campo Santos should be standing up and saying, this was stupid, this was wrong. I don't think using your art as a weapon is the right thing to do. I think it sets precedent that you're not going to back up. They're not going to back this up with every single person that uses a racial epithet in any game.
Yeah, I don't expect them to do that, and that is a problem I see.
Yeah. And so I think that they had the opportunity to say that this was wrong, and we are not going to support him anymore, but here are people that we do support.
Right.
And I think that would have been a wiser choice on their part.
Sure.
Well, guys, let us know what you think. Send us a message, comments below this. Email us at dezandfoxplay@gmail.com.
If you agree with me, then you can post a comment. If you don't, then I will send a DMCA to your YouTube channel.
That's kind of what I'm saying. But anyway, thank you guys for listening to our very first podcast. You're all cool. We'll see you guys later.